what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your girl Tokes, fashion blogger and style consultant at TokesTakeOnStyle.com. How's it going? How's everyone doing today? We are waiting for our other guest to join, who is Femme Fatale Fit Club, and her name is Deanna Harris. Okay, she is also known as Coach D, and she has her own personal training business, and she has a Facebook fitness group, or multiple ones actually, that she runs. So she trains people both locally in Maryland as well as virtually. So it doesn't matter where you live, you can train with her. So let me bring on Femme Fatale Fit Club so we can get this party started. Again, thanks for joining. I'm so excited. Very excited about this one. So we're waiting for her. Shout out to Rania in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're about to get the party started. And there she is. Hi, Coach D. Welcome. And thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited. I don't know if I should be excited about fitness, you guys. But I'm excited, okay? We'll see what happens by the time the night is over. For now, I'm excited. And welcome to people who continue to join. We have tonight 2 fitness experts in the house. We have Femme Fatale Fit Club, and we also have Eat to Play. So we are starting out with Femme Fatale Fit Club, and I always love, since I started doing these wine and tea chats with guests, I have to do your bio justice, okay? Because you guys, I am bringing the very best of the best, okay, to you guys, okay? So I want to make sure that I do them justice when I am introducing them, okay? Femme Fatale Fit Club, also known as Coach D, also known as Deanna Harris, okay, is a lover of all things fitness. By day, she's a program manager, so this is what drives me crazy. This woman has a regular corporate gig that she has going on, and yet she's able to do all these things on the fatness end, and you know, she's getting her hustle on. So she is a program manager for an asset management firm, and in the wee hours of the morning and late hours of the evening, she is an NASM certified personal trainer and fitness coach, okay, working with in-person and virtual clients worldwide who reside as far away as Malawi, you guys, and the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, okay? So like I was saying earlier, she trains people locally in the state of Maryland, and I think I mentioned, she also trains people just outside the country, okay? So don't we just love technology and the things you can do with technology? I can't even finish reading this bio, you guys, it's so awesome, but her services include one-on-one personal training. She's got a widely popular 30-day Cinch an Inch, which I've done, Cinch an Inch monthly fitness challenge, a 12-week fitness program for beginners and intermediate fitness levels, an 8-week immersive coaching, which is changing the lives one person at a time. Deanna has appeared on TV, on local news stations. She also was invited, and she was able to attend former First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign event to learn about the various programs that the White House was promoting across the country at that time as part of the Let's Move campaign. I can keep going on and on, you guys, but we don't have time, okay? But welcome to Deanna. So lovely to have you. Welcome to the folks joining. I see folks joining. You guys, if you have questions, especially for Deanna, please type it in the comments, okay? At Femme Fatale Fit Club is her name on Instagram, so follow her. If you have questions, type them in the comment box. And also, you should see an icon that has a question mark. If you tap on that icon, you can actually also put in your question, and we can get to your question live, okay? So those are the 2 ways, you guys, that you can get your questions to us. Either type it in the comment box or tap on that question mark icon, so that Femme Fatale Fit Club and myself can get to your question. The other thing I want to say is, if you hear something that makes your heart sing, something that you're loving, tap on the hearts, you guys, okay? Show us some love so that way other people can know that we're live and they can join as well, okay? So with all that out of the way, Deanna, Femme Fatale Fit Club, I'm just going to use both interchangeably here. Cheers to those who have their beverages. I have red wine. I'm happy. Oh, she's got water, you guys. She's got water. I will drink my wine, okay, without any shame. Diana, how is it going? And as a personal trainer, what are the trends that you're seeing with the clients that you train? Are people struggling, do you feel like, or are they, more or less motivated, if you will, since we've been on lockdown? What are you seeing out there?
So what I'm finding is that because people have more time, they are actually able to participate, and they are finding new and fun ways to be active, whether it's walking, running. Now the latest challenge is jump rope. So we have a jump rope challenge that started May 1st, and it is wildly popular. People are loving it.
Okay, so for those who are just joining, welcome to everyone. Thank you for the feedback. So you're saying that you can hear better now. So Diana was just saying that Femme Fatale Fit Club actually now has a jump rope challenge that just started for the month of May. I am in that jump rope challenge, you guys. It is no joke. Okay, she keeps adding on as you go. So I think on day one, we started out with 200 jump. You had to do 200, and then the next day was 220, 240. It kept building, and then today is a day of rest. Thank you, Jesus. It's a day of rest. But yeah, so Diana says that she's finding that, because my question to her was, is she finding that people are more or less motivated, okay, during this whole lockdown, we're stuck at home situation? She's saying that people are actually more motivated and they're looking for ways to actually get active. So she's saying that people are, looking for all kinds of ways to actually get engaged. And so she mentioned this jump rope challenge is one of the ways that people in her circle are actually trying to stay active and looking to stay fit. So that's good. And a jump rope, you guys can get a jump rope anywhere, okay? Walmart, Target, Amazon, of course, you can get a jump rope anywhere. So that, I think, is one of the very easiest pieces of fitness equipment that you can get out there and use anywhere. You can jump rope outside if you want to. When it starts getting warmer, you can jump rope indoors. I love the jump rope because I think it's so easy. What advice would you have for people who don't feel motivated? Because to be honest, there are some days when I just can't, right? It's hard for me with everything going on. Maybe I'm stressed from the day before. It's hard to get motivated sometimes. What advice would you have for people who are having a hard time getting motivated?
What I found is when you do something, maybe you have an accountability partner or something like that. I found that kind of actually helps people stay motivated because you don't want to leave that other person hanging. So whether you guys are doing, let's say, a Peloton, or whether you guys say, we're going to do a video together or anything, I find that what helps motivate people is when they have friends that are doing it with them.
Nice. So you guys, my question for those who just joined, and shout out to everyone who's joining. I'm waving at you, even though I can't catch everyone. I'm waving. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got Femme Fatale Fit Club in the house. So for those who just joined, Femme Fatale Fit Club, aka Diana Harris, was just telling us about staying motivated. Because I told her, I said, for someone like me, there are some days where it's harder to be, more or less motivated. There's some days where you just can't, right? For whatever reason, maybe the kids are driving you crazy. You're trying to figure them out. And even for folks who don't have kids, you may just be stressed out and just, quite frankly, not in the mood. Hi, Chris. Hey, Chris, in the house. So you may not be motivated. What Diana is saying is it helps when you have an accountability partner. Okay, so when you have a friend or two or three that you can keep yourselves accountable, and you guys can check in to say, have you worked out today? Have you gotten your butt outside for a walk today? Have you gotten up from that chair that you've been sitting in all day? Or have you worked out today? Having that actually helps, and I agree. It helps to have an accountability partner or two. So that way, when you're not in the mood, I feel like we feel guilty, when you have an accountability, nod if you agree. When you have an accountability partner, I know I feel guilty. Because when they ask you, have you worked out or what have you done today? Shout out to Sade at the house. When they ask you, you feel kind of bad when you say, I haven't. So I think it does help to have an accountability partner. What else?
So what I also say is, what are your goals? Write them down. Make them visible. Put them in places where you frequently go. I'm not talking the refrigerator. I'm talking like your bathroom, your the dresser, your mirror in your bedroom, places that you frequent. Because when you have a goal and when you have a vision, you need to write those things down, and then you need to make them come alive. You need to keep them present and in front of you at all times. Because when you don't want, or when you don't feel like it, your goals don't care how you feel. You have goals, do it anyway. Because the people that go from good to great don't get there just by doing what everybody else does or doesn't do. They go above and beyond at all times, and they keep their eyes on the prize.
I love that. I love that. Gems right here. Gems. Okay, you guys, this is why I was looking forward to this one. So I Am Sunflower 2011 says, guilty for not writing the, yeah. So for those who are just joining, I was asking Femme Fatale Fit Club, what about the days when you don't feel motivated? And she says, get you an accountability partner, or 2 or 3, okay? Join a fitness challenge. That can help keep you motivated, or have an accountability partner. The other thing that she said is have goals, and don't just have goals, write them down. And what I love about what you just said, which I don't think I've heard that before when it comes to fitness goals, Deanna actually said, write them down somewhere where you frequent a lot. So, we always think about the mirror. You can put them on your mirror, the dresser. She says, write them down and put them somewhere visible. So that way you're constantly reminding yourself as you go why you have the goals and what the goal is in the first place. And what I love that she just said is people who go from good to great don't just do it. It just doesn't happen. They have goals, and they remind themselves of the goals, and they put it somewhere where they can see it, so that they stay challenged and they remind themselves. I love that a lot. Hi, Carrie Medina in the house. You guys, that is my college roommate in the house. One of my very, 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 very good friends, Carrie Medina in the house. So shout out to Carrie for joining us. Hi, Carrie. All right. So that's another good one. Now,
yes,
since people are stuck at home, I'm sure the gyms and fitness studios are about to open very soon. It's sounding like from everything going on. But while we're still at home, though, for someone who doesn't have any equipment, okay, I don't have a treadmill in my house, for example. I don't have a Peloton bike or other bike. I don't. So for people like me who don't have a bike, no treadmill, none of that, what is the easiest workout that someone can do without any major equipment?
Well, if you want change doesn't come with easy. Let's be clear about that.
Okay, change doesn't come with ease, okay?
Don't come easy. But you have your body, okay? And quite frankly, if you can't push your own body weight, then you in trouble. Yeah. So I liken it to, remember 9/11, it was a very tragic time in the day of the country.
Yeah.
And some people could not actually get out of the building because they physically could not get out.
Yeah.
Because of lack of conditioning, comorbidity, chronic disease, or whatever the issue was.
Yeah.
So to stay conditioned and all of that, you really need, be able to push your own body weight.
Yeah.
There's a lot of routines out there. There's stuff out on YouTube. There's stuff on Pinterest. There's stuff on IG. Oh, Instagram is blowing up with all of those at-home bodyweight workouts and exercise routines that you can do, and you can increase the intensity up or down based on time under tension, like how long it takes you to do the concentric versus eccentric movement.
Okay.
Increasing the number of reps, increasing all those things, increasing the number of sets. All those things are ways you can challenge yourself with your own body weight. So that you get an excellent workout in, you condition your body and all those things. For example, tricep dips, push-ups, jump squats, regular squats, deadlifts, reverse lunges, lateral hops, bench hops, all kinds of things you can do. Again, you can find them on YouTube and Instagram. They have stuff going on every day, every minute of the day on Instagram.
Wow. No, that's true, because I've seen a lot of we've all seen, I'm sure, in our feeds, a lot of fitness related, posts with people either, posting the visual with different exercises or reps of things that you can do, or even videos. So I love that you say that because yes, you don't have to go too far, guys. You can definitely check on Instagram, YouTube, and what's cool is, you know, if you have YouTube on your TV, you can actually pull it up that way and do the exercise, you know, at home with the, you know, on the screen, on the TV. You can do it on your phone. There are also lots of fitness apps. So I know you can talk about, because you have an app also. Diata actually, or Femme Fatale Fit Club has an app. But there are so many fitness apps out there, you guys. So that's another thing that I found also works. And then some of them actually will let you pick the amount of time you have. So if all you have literally is 14 minutes, it cracks me up that it's not even in increments of 5, right? You don't even have to have 15 minutes. If all you have is 14 minutes, there is an app with a workout that's free for you for the 14 minutes that you have to get moving and active that day. So I feel like there is no shortage of resources. There are all these great resources. It's a mind over matter thing, and that's where I'm speaking for myself. I struggle with the, you know, mind over matter because I feel like, and you guys, for those who follow me, I posted earlier this week, and Femme Fatale Fit Club does not like this video, but I posted anyway, where I talk about how I hate working out. Because let's be real, I'm just keeping it 100. I hate working out. That's me personally. I don't like working out, but I love the effects. I love how I feel mentally. Like literally, it's like my mind feels clear, and then I feel healthier, in shape. So I love the effects, and that's why I work out. I won't lie, I do work out. Do I love it? Hell no, but I do it because of the effects. That doesn't mean I have to like it. So I don't like it, but I see it as, and I know you won't like this, I see it as a necessary evil. It's something that's a part of me that I have to do. I don't love it though. Now, someone had a question, so I'm going to scroll and see if I can catch the question. There we go. I Am Sunflower 2011 has a question, Femme Fatale Fit Club. She says, do you believe that body type makes a difference in the type of exercises we do? She's considered an endomorph body type, and she says she has a hard time keeping her weight down. She was told to do HIIT training. So you guys know HIIT, H-I-T-T, training. What advice do you have for I Am Sunflower 2011 and folks like that who feel like they have a hard time keeping the weight down even when they're exercising? What tips and advice would you have to offer?
Well, first and foremost, information is power, and the fact what a body type is, yes, there are some things that you can do to hit your goals, whether they be weight loss or, muscle gain. An ectomorph and an endomorph basically aren't going to be doing the same things. An ectomorph has a hard time picking up weight. They're the small, slim chicks that can eat everything and still stay slim.
I don't like those people.
They are nice people. But an endomorph, it might feel like I look at a cookie and I just gained 10 pounds. So HIIT is a very, it's called high intensity interval training, is what HIIT is. And what that does is it really does burn the fat very fast while maintaining muscle. Okay. So you want to do more or less medium weights, high reps. So when I say high reps, I mean 15 to 20 reps per set, per exercise. And then you want to top it off with a 20-minute HIIT. And what that means is it has to be real intense, but not for a long extended period of time. So you might do like a 3 mile per hour. I'm just going to use a treadmill, for example, 3 mile per hour walking pace for a minute and a half. And then for that 30 seconds, you're going to go 8 miles per hour or 9 miles per hour. Then you're going to go bring it back down to 3 miles per hour for another minute and a half, and then pick it back up for another 30 minutes. Repeat that for 10 times for 20 minutes to really get your heart rate up and bring it back down, because your body's going to burn more calories and use more energy. And even after, you're going to burn more calories after you finish than if you were to just do regular steady state.
I see. So doing it that way gives you more afterburn when you're even done exercising, essentially.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Your body still needs oxygen even after you finish. And guess what, guys? The magic to weight loss, or the secret to fat loss, is oxygen. Okay?
Really?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I don't think I knew that.
Many people don't.
I don't think I knew that. So I am Sunflower 2011. I hope that answers your question. That was definitely helpful for me. So thanks for asking the question. And for those who are just joining, if you have questions, please either type them in the comment box or tap on the question mark icon. That way the question will actually pop up on screen and we can see it. So just in case, because I know as people start to type in the comments, we may lose track. So either type your question in the comment box or tap on the question mark icons, because I want to make sure that Femme Fatale Fit Club gets to your questions before she leaves us. Okay, and then we bring on Eats to Play. So if you have any questions, please, again, those are the two ways. Either type it in the comment box or tap on the question mark icon. So that was very helpful, and I love that. Now, what about sitting all day? Because a lot of us are sitting. Some of us do at home have the luxury of the, you know, the standing desks, but very few of us. I don't, not at home. So what are some quick hits in terms of sitting, when you're sitting at your desk all day working at your desk and you need to, you know, get up and quickly do something? What are some quick hits that people can do who are stuck at their desk for most of the day, and then on a rainy day, they can't get out to walk, you know, go outside, get some fresh air on a rainy day. And if it happens to be a crazy busy day where, say, they couldn't work out, okay, so they couldn't do all the HIIT training and all of that, what can they do, just given the fact that they've been sitting on their butts all day?
Well, you know, what I do, I'll speak for myself. What I do is I get up and I pace my kitchen.
Okay.
Where I set up my home office, because we have, my husband's home too, so he's in the official home office. I'm set up in the kitchen. If I'm not facilitating the call and I'm listening or talking, and I don't have to document notes, whatever, I will pace the kitchen, and I try to do that at least once an hour.
Oh, so once every hour?
Yeah, throughout the day, minimum.
Okay.
And I don't have a standing desk at home. I do have a higher counter, so sometimes I'll put my laptop up there, so I'm standing as well. Or I'll just have the laptop on the table and I'm standing. I'm not typing, so I'm not promoting poor posture, but I'm listening and I'm just standing and I'm pacing just to get moving. Okay.
I love that. So you guys, what the question was for those who just joined, shout out to Just Being Tam, Cool is Red, who just joined, and other folks. Thank you so much for joining. So my question was, if you're sitting on your butt all day, which, let's face it, unless you are an essential worker, most of us are sitting on our butts all day. So for the days where maybe you can't get out or whatever, what are some of the things that we can do? So Femme Fatale Fit Club just said what she does is when she's working at home in the kitchen, she actually paces her kitchen at least once every hour. I love that. So a minimum of once every hour. And then you also stand every now and then. Okay, that makes sense and that helps. Yeah.
I just try to do it for 10, 15 minutes. My calls are minimum 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. So there's a lot of time to pay.
Yeah. So I love that. And then didn't you also say something before about squats? Don't you also talk about squat, like getting up and then squatting in place? And how many reps would you say? Obviously, like we were just saying with I Am Sunflower, we all have different body types and we're at different levels. It varies. But if you were to wear your Coach D hat and you were talking to just anyone and you were like, you need to get up and squat at your desk, how many would you say you would be looking for minimum wise?
I would say not how many, but how long.
How long? Really?
How many reps can you get in 10 minutes? Oh, yeah.
What would you expect? So I guess you just do whatever what if I can only get 2 in 10 minutes? All right, that's the wine talking. That's the wine talking. But seriously, so...
Or you can do chair squats. That's when you squat, your butt taps the chair, stand back up. Tap the chair, stand back up, tap the chair. Because guess what, guys? If you are sitting, you are standing from your seat all day, every day. And if you can't do, 50 squats, within 5 minutes of that, that you need to work on that.
Wow. She's calling us out. Buki Dara is laughing at me here with my 2 squats in 10 minutes. She's making fun of me, but Just Being Tam says per hour. So essentially you're saying you would expect anyone to be able to get in 50 squats
Yeah. Well, it depends. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
People have mobility issues and things like that. But if you are standing up from the toilet, if you go to the toilet every day and you sitting on a chair every day, you got to stand up. And at least it's a practical movement, that you're going to do daily. So you might as well make sure that your glutes are strong, your hamstrings are strong, your quads are strong, and your calves are strong.
Yeah.
You can do that. But guess what? They're calling sitting the new smoking. So it's imperative that we move our body. And 50 squats in 5 minutes, you want it. But it's imperative that we move our body because we're becoming so sedentary, guys, that we are gaining weight in our middle, which is, as we know, promotes disease. Disease starts in the gut, by the way. So it's imperative that we move our bodies. And it doesn't have to be so intense all the time, right? But just get your body moving, get your body used to moving, because as I always say, I'm always training to be chased by zombies. I'm not going to be left behind, okay? The way things are going, I can sprint when I need to and get away. So
okay. I love that. And I say that a lot too. I'm like, sitting is the new smoking. So we always have to constantly remind ourselves to get up off the chair. So I love that. Even if, like you said, it's squatting as you're going to the bathroom, you can get it in. If you're wherever you're working, even if you're working in the kitchen, pace the kitchen, get up and walk around a couple of times. And most importantly, especially for Buki Dare, who posted it, and I see KDB answered her and said 5 minutes, 50 squats in 5 minutes is our challenge, okay? So we're all going to be working on getting it in.
That's only 10 squats a minute. You could do that. So,
did you hear what she said? She said that's only 10 squats per minute. Okay.
But this is the other thing too. Just know weight loss and hitting your goals, it comes with doing very small things consistently, okay? It doesn't require big, elaborate 2-hour programs. Do small things consistently. And before you know it, you're like, you know what, my clothes are feeling looser. Oh man, I didn't huff and puff walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
It's the little things, but done regularly and consistently is what makes you go from good to great.
I love that. You guys, so much knowledge and so many gems. So for those who missed that, and shout out to Tinder Touch 77 who just joined. So essentially she said, doing very small things consistently is how you get from good to great. I love that. So for folks who may, have a struggle with weight loss, like someone had commented earlier, that they struggle with keeping the weight down, I think it's always good to remind ourselves that Rome wasn't built in a day. So it's not just going to happen all of a sudden. When we see it happen all of a sudden with celebrities, that ain't working out. That's all. So it just doesn't happen overnight. It takes work. So I love that you're saying that all these little things essentially make a big difference over time. And there's more, an impact over time, and you start to see the difference over time. Thank you so much, Femme Fatale Fit Club. I hope you stick around and don't leave us. I'm going to bring on Eat to Play in a second. Let me see. I am Sunflower 2011 says, wait, LOL. When I did boot camp, a squat meant our butts sweeping the floor. LOL. I can only do that in heels. LOL.
Heels are elevated.
That's what?
Because her heels are elevated and it's easier to squat down than with your...
Oh, so that's easier. So take off them heels. I am Sunflower 2011. That's what she's trying to tell us. Take off the heels so you can feel the burn, okay? Thank you so much, Femme Fatale Fit Club. Please stick around. Thank you. And now we're going to bring on Eat to Play. Hi, Eat to Play.
Hey, Tom.
How's it going?
Everything is going good.
Thank you so much for saying yes and joining us tonight. I am so excited. One of the things, you guys, that I love about Eat to Play is her gorgeous smile. She is always smiling, just always, she's just delightful. And we're about to talk to her. Like I did with Femme Fatale Fit Club, I was saying I love doing, because I just started these tea and wine chats a few weeks ago with guests. And I just love always doing my guests, like their bios justice, because there are so many amazing women, because it's all been women so far, There are so many amazing women out there, you guys, doing amazing things. Okay, so Femme Fatale Fit Club, like I said, she's a certified personal trainer. Eat to Play, also known as the lovely Leah Moore, is not only a certified personal trainer, she is also a nutritionist. Okay, you guys, so Leah offers personalized health coaching to help with fitness goals, nutrition, health improvement, lifestyle changes, and sports training. And the way she sees it is as you adapt, so does your program. So her program adapts to your progress, essentially. Leah has trained clients at the New York Sports Club. So she's joining us from Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to Brooklyn! Brooklyn in the house. So she joins us from Brooklyn, and she has trained at the New York Sports Club. She's also been personal training since 2003 and a nutritionist since 2009. So welcome. And this is a sidebar. I thought it was a coincidence, you guys, that Femme Fatale Fit Club and Eat to Play both happen to be Deltas. Okay, so they both pledged Delta. So shout out to any Deltas out there. Okay, I just thought that was funny that coincidentally they both just happened to be Deltas, and that wasn't even planned. So shout out to Deltas in the house. So thanks for joining us. You heard Femme Fatale Fit Club, you know, share her gems around Brooklyn, Mission and Movement, another New York. There's so many New Yorkers in the house. A former Queens girl in the house right here. So shout out to all the New York people. Mission and Movement says Brooklyn. So yeah, Gwen.dw says, hoo-hoo, DST in the house. Yes, all the Deltas are they're all going to be doing they're going to be doing the little signs now. But anywho, so thanks so much for joining. So curious, Eat to Play. How did you come up with that name? What's the significance behind the name Eat to Play? Let's get that out the way.
Okay. So basically, I came up with that name because, you know, I started out as a personal trainer.
Okay.
And it wasn't long before I realized that unless someone's diet complemented their exercise program, that they weren't going to see the results that they needed. So then I went back to school and I got a degree in nutrition. And so basically, it's just a play on the fact that the two go together. You know? And I kind of like to see workouts, not just as, yes, we're trying to accomplish this goal, but also we want it to be fun.
Okay.
So, because if it's fun, the person is more likely to do it. It's more likely to become a habit. And so that's where the play comes in. So the nutrition is the eat, and the fun workouts is the play.
Got it. I love that. So can you try turning up your volume also, please, Leah? Same thing with Femme Fatale Fit Club. So for those, shout out to everyone who just joined Visionary on the Move, Unique Jewelry Design, Chasing Joy. Shout out to you guys. I was just asking Eat to Play what the significance behind the name was. So she was saying that it's really that marriage of the nutrition and the fitness, the exercise part. Okay, so that's where the fun comes in with the play, when you've got the diet and nutrition stuff going on and you've got that down, and then you're marrying that with the fun that you get from the exercising part. Because I always meant to ask how you came up with with the name Eat to Play. So I love that. So thanks for that. Now, in terms of eating, one of the things that I'm finding, okay, is I am eating more, which makes sense now that I'm home. Am I moving more? No, I'm not moving more. I'm eating a whole lot more, but I'm not moving more. So what are some of the tips you have for those of us who are there smacking up a storm while we're home on lockdown? What are some of the healthy, I guess, snack options that you would recommend?
You want to make sure that the majority of your diet is healthy. So I like to follow the 80-20 rule. So try to have like 80% of the foods you're eating being whole foods, foods that, you know, are not processed. So we're talking about fruits, vegetables, whole grains,
okay,
your meats. So let that be the 80%. And then you can leave 20% for those, you know, those guilty pleasures, for those snacks that you like to indulge in.
Okay.
Another thing, you also want to be mindful when you're eating. So you want to ask yourself, are you actually hungry? Or are you eating, or are you just eating out of boredom? Or are you eating just because the food is there? So it's like, before you go to the kitchen to get something to eat, check in with your body and see, do I actually have like cues that are telling me I'm hungry? And if not, then maybe you don't eat something then.
Okay, I love how you see how Femme Fatale Fit Club, she's like, exactly, I don't like you nutrition and personal training people. So for those who are listening, I love the 80-20 rule. I love what you just said about the 80-20 rule in terms of the makeup of what you're eating. And then for people like myself who will just literally go eat just because I feel like it, you're saying, ask yourself and make sure that you really are hungry versus just eating to eat. Because I'm guilty of sometimes I'm just like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I had some popcorn right now? And then I just go and get the popcorn. So you're saying really, really, truly ask yourself, do I really need that food? Am I hungry versus just getting up and eating?
Exactly. And then when you are eating, try to eat slowly and try to make sure that you chew your food completely.
Okay.
Because you want to make sure, because what happens is, while you're eating, eventually your body will become full. Like your stomach will have had enough food. But if you're eating too fast, you might surpass the signal that you're actually full when you were actually full maybe like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So the slowing down of the eating allows your brain to sync up with your stomach to say, you know what, we don't need any more food. And so slowing down can kind of help you not eat more than you actually need.
Got it. I love that. Visionary on the move. And just a quick reminder for folks, if you have a question, please type it in the comment box or tap on the question mark icon that you see at the bottom of your screen. So that way we will see the question pop up and Eat to Play can help answer your question. But Visionary on the Move says, my struggle is getting enough vegetables. Is this a good way to ensure I get the right amount in each day?
Well, that's a good question. And that's actually something that I've struggled with also. And so one of the things that I've done to make sure that I get enough vegetables is to make smoothies. So you can get like kale, you can get some greens, and just, mix it with some fruit and make a smoothie. Because for me, that's easier to get in my vegetables than like making a salad.
Got it.
Salad is another way you can get, more vegetables in. But for me, blending everything up into a smoothie allowed me to get a lot more greens in, and I could just drink it quickly.
Okay.
So, that's something that I've personally done to get enough vegetables in.
Okay.
And actually, the amount of vegetables we need to eat per day is really not that much. It's about 2 cups. So it's really not that much. But if you don't plan ahead in advance, you might not actually get that amount.
Interesting.
So I would say, try to start making smoothies, and you can also, find some vegetables that you actually like that are in season. And so between the smoothies and actually making, maybe some collard greens, like saute some collard greens, or maybe roast some Brussels sprouts or some asparagus, things that are quick, that can kind of complement the vegetable fruit smoothies.
I love that. So for folks who are listening in, I love what Leah just said, because I didn't even think about it that way in terms of we're talking 2 cups per day.
Yeah.
So that helps, and that's doable, you guys. So what Leah is saying is you can actually do a smoothie. So if you're blending the vegetables, that's another option. So as opposed to you thinking about, having to cook, if you don't have the time, it may be quicker for you just to grab a couple of vegetables, blend it up with some fruit. And I want you to talk about that too, because then the other thing I see a lot is people like Femme Fatale Club and others who will say you also have to watch the amount of fruit, because then you don't want it to be too sweet. Because I think sometimes we also think, well, I'm eating fruit, so that's a good thing, but then it's still sugar. So, right? So we have to think about that. So I'm going to have you hold that thought. Before we get to that, we have 2 other questions. So Femme Fatale Fit Club says, are supplements necessary? And then I Am Sunflower 2011 says, are frozen veggies okay? And while you're thinking about those, then I have another one from Tony that says, I have digestion issues and often find myself feeling bloated and gassy. What foods would help with this? So there you go. So let's start with supplements. What are your thoughts on supplements? Because I've heard mixed things about supplements.
Yeah, so with supplements, they really are to supplement your diet.
Okay.
So first and foremost, you want to try to get your nutrients from food.
Okay.
But sometimes that's not possible for whatever reason. So if you cannot get it from food or you can't get the adequate amount from food, then I would say you go to your supplement.
Okay.
But really, first and foremost, try to get it from food. And if that's not possible, then on the days, for example, omega-3 is a very important nutrient that we need to have. So typically that's found in like fatty fish. And but I don't eat fatty fish every day. So the days that I don't eat fatty fish, I will take my fish oil supplement.
Okay.
On the days that I do have some salmon or some sardines or some mackerel, then I don't take the supplement. So I kind of take it on an as-needed basis based on what I'm eating.
Okay. So that, I hope that answers the question. Thanks, Femme Fatale Fikla, for that question about supplements. So Eat to Play is essentially saying, get it from your food first and foremost. It is what the name sounds like. It's a supplement to supplement your food. So, get it from the food first. And then if you're not getting it from the food, then go to the supplement. The other question from Denise8407 is, are frozen vegetables good? And I've heard that one before too. So are frozen vegetables, what's your take on frozen vegetables?
Absolutely. They are good.
Okay.
Because what happens is the vegetables, they are picked at their peak ripeness and then they're frozen. So they pretty much have the same nutrient intake. Sometimes they might even have more nutrients than if you bought the vegetables fresh.
No.
Once you pick produce off the tree or pick it from the ground,
yeah,
each day it starts to lose nutrients. Oh. So each day you have it's sitting in the store, each day it's in the fridge, it's losing nutrients. But when they pick it and freeze it, the nutrients are actually maintained.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's even more nutritious to eat frozen vegetables. So definitely.
Oh, wow. See, I think you just busted like that's like a huge myth buster right there. I feel so ignorant because I don't think, seriously, like, I don't think I knew that the longer it sits on the shelf, the more you're losing. I don't think I've ever heard that before. So this is why I told people to join. So because you guys were going to be dropping gems left, right, all over the place. So you guys, I didn't know that. And like I said, if you hear something that makes you happy or brings you joy, you guys need to tap on those hearts at the bottom of your screen, okay? Tap on the hearts, okay? Show some love because I'm learning a lot from this. This is so helpful because I don't think I knew that. So that's very interesting. Let's go to the other question we had about being bloated and feeling bloated and gassy. What types of foods would do you think work when people feel gassy?
Well, I'm not sure if the solution is to eat foods to prevent that.
Okay.
I mean, it could be a couple of things. It could be certain foods that actually can trigger gas and bloating. So sometimes people get that from beans or like legumes. So I mean, maybe she can give some more information, but sometimes foods that are high in fiber can cause people to have that bloating or gassy symptoms. Other times it could be if you have too much space in between meals. Sometimes that can create gas in your stomach.
Oh.
Also, sometimes. And also, if you don't chew your food completely, that can basically slow down the digestion of the food once it gets into your digestive tract.
Okay.
So that slowing down can just have the food kind of sitting in your stomach as opposed to moving through smoothly. So that's another reason why I was saying it's important to chew your food completely, because the more that the food is broken down while it's in your mouth before you actually swallow it, the easier it would be for your body to break it down further once it gets to your stomach, because it's in like smaller pieces. I mean, ideally, when you chew your food, you kind of want it to get to be like a liquid.
Okay.
You chew it that much, so it's kind of like mush. So that way, when it gets to your stomach, the stomach doesn't have to work that hard to break it down further.
Got it.
A little quicker, so you can kind of eliminate that bloating.
Okay, so that's good. So essentially, all roads lead to eating more slowly. Gotta keep eating slowly. That's what you're telling us right there.
Yeah.
She has a follow-up question, which is rice a food that can cause gas? I haven't heard of rice. Like, I know beans, like you said. Broccoli is another one that I've heard can make you gassy. Is rice, do you think? Have you heard that?
I never heard that about rice. So I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of it, sometimes it really depends on the person. You know, sometimes some people just have more issues digesting certain foods.
Yep.
Other people. So, I mean, everybody's body is unique. So, what you could do is try not to have rice for a couple days and see if the bloating is better.
Okay.
Kind of like by the process of elimination, foods that you might suspect might be causing the bloating.
Yep.
Try to eat it for a few days and see if the bloating improves, and you can kind of like troubleshoot and kind of see what's causing it.
Okay, I love that. So process of elimination. We had another question come in from Sade where she says, "Is intermittent fasting okay?" That's another one that I know there are folks who do that a lot these days.
Yeah.
Anything that involves not eating, I personally am not a fan of because I love to eat. That should be my Instagram name, love to eat, okay? I can get with that. So what is your take on that? Is that okay?
I'm so glad she asked that question because I am a fan of it.
You are a fan?
I am. And I mean, the thing about it is there's so many different ways you can do intermittent fasting.
Yes.
And so there's a milder version that you can do that is not that restrictive, which is what I kind of do. So basically, it's 12 hours straight of no food. So what that looks like for me is I eat from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
So really, it's really not that much of a struggle because most of the time that I'm fasting, I'm sleeping.
I know. So does that count though? Isn't that some form of cheating? Eat to play. If you're asleep, if it's happening in the nighttime, is that really fasting?
Yes. I mean, the thing about it is, between 12 to 16 hours of non-feeding is one of the methods that people use.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of benefits from 12 hours of non-feeding, but the benefits to your body increase the closer you get to 16.
Got it.
So it's not to say that if you did the 16 hours no feeding, you would get more benefits, but you still get benefits with the 12. So I would say, but if that's something you're interested in trying out, do what works for you. Because, I mean, it's really based on your lifestyle, how active you are, what your schedule is.
Okay.
What your eating habits are now. So to go from 0 to 360 might be too much. But, you can just gradually, if you want to try it, you can start with the 12 and see how that goes, and then you can go from there.
Okay. I actually love the idea of 7 to 7.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, before I knew it was intermittent fasting, I was kind of doing that anyway. But once I, really found out about all the health benefits of intermittent fasting, which, I mean, in case you don't know, people live longer, they eat less, so they wind up being leaner, and there's so many other health benefits. So it's like, why not try it?
Yeah. Okay, I guess I will. Now that you put it that way, I guess I will. Okay. So Sade, I hope that answers your question. Femme Fatale Fit Club says, what are your thoughts on the keto diet?
Well, the keto diet, me personally, I really don't promote diets to my clients. I promote mindful eating because most diets, especially ones such as like the keto diet, they're not really sustainable in like the long term. You know, because I know people who've done the keto and, you know, yes, they lost weight initially, but it's hard to eat that little amount of carbs.
Yeah.
For the long haul, especially if you're active, you know, especially if you're working out. And so, you know, I personally don't recommend that to people.
Yeah.
I don't recommend diets. It's all about, you know, what are your goals? How can you be more mindful about your eating? You know, listen to your body's cues.
Yep.
80-20 rule. And also portions. Like portion control is very important too, because it's not just what you're eating and when you're eating, it's how much. Because even if you're eating a healthy food, if it's too much, then too much of a good thing can become bad.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I'm writing that down. And just quick FYI for folks, obviously, since this is live, this will be available for 24 hours for you to watch live. I'm also recording it, and this will be a blog post on tokestakeonstyle.com. So just look out for that. So just in case you want to go back and check out these gems that these wonderful ladies have been dropping, because I love what Leah just said just now about mindful eating. So being mindful about what you're eating, and also she says it's not just about what you're eating and when, it's also how much. Your portion control is also very important as well. So I love that. That is so cool. And I am so mad, you guys, that there were not hearts. I was expecting to see a bunch of hearts floating up when she dropped that one, because I was like, yes, mindful eating, yay. That's what someone like me wants to hear, because to be honest, I don't do well with diets either. Because to me, the minute you tell me I can't have something, that's when we have a problem. So I love the idea, and that's what I tell people when people are like, oh, what do you do? I don't diet. I eat, quite frankly. I think it's more about, like you said, the balance of the exercise and portion control and all of that. And that's what works for me. But I'm not a diet person. I do know people who it works for them. But for me, it's not sustainable because it's not like part of my lifestyle, because in order for something, I feel like, to stick, it has to be a lifestyle change versus a fad. Lady T21 says, do you think carb cycling is good?
I don't recommend carb cycling.
What is carb cycling? For those idiots like myself who don't know what that is, what is carb cycling?
Well, from what I understand, it's kind of like alternating the amount of carbs that you're eating based on the time of day or the activity. But I just feel like if you're eating a balanced diet and if you're mindful about what you're eating,
yeah,
and focusing on whole foods, I think that's really the best bet, and that is what is most sustainable. One thing I would like to say about carbs, though, is that the body is more efficient at burning carbs from the time you wake up until about 3 o'clock. And this has to do with the hormones that are released in the body. So you need insulin in order to process and break down carbs and get that energy into the cells. And insulin is secreted more before 3 o'clock. So the body is more efficient at breaking down carbohydrates before 3 o'clock.
So you're telling me I've been essentially doing it wrong, eating all that rice after 3 p.m. That's what you're trying to tell. That's what you're trying to tell me, is that I should not be having rice for dinner. Is that what you're trying to tell me? So I hope you guys got that. I am learning so much. I'm laughing, you guys, but I'm laughing at my own stupidity, okay, right here. I love that. So technically, you shouldn't eat the carbs after 3 because your body is able to burn it faster if you consume it before 3 o'clock.
So it's not that you can't have any carbs after 3, but I would say the bigger portion of your carbs. So you want to have bigger portions of carbs before 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. So after 3 is when you can have, a smaller portion of carbs, vegetables, but like the real big portions of starches and, stuff
Yep.
like that you want to have earlier in the day.
Yes.
Because the body will break it down more efficiently.
Got it. I love that.
Yeah.
So, I am Sunflower 2011. I love that. She says, I let my daughter eat pasta early, LOL, at lunch or breakfast. Femme Fatale Fit Club says protein and veggies. And you guys, we have 1 minute and 12 seconds left because IG Live is an hour. So the countdown has begun in terms of this ending in just about a minute or so. So if you have one parting question for Eat to Play, now's your chance to get it in. Either type it in the comment or tap on the question marked icon. If we get kicked off, Femme Fatale Fit Club, Eat to Play. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining and sharing so much wisdom with us. I know I've learned a lot. This has been very informative and very educational. And it sounds like from the folks who joined, they found it helpful as well. Huge shout out to all the folks who joined. I'm just Visionary on the Move, folks who asked questions. I am Sunflower 2011, Buki Diet, like everyone who joined and was engaged and asked questions, even for the folks who didn't ask questions but listened in. Thank you so much. How can folks follow you?
So I'm on Instagram, Eat to Play.
Okay, she's on Instagram at Eat to Play. Are you on Facebook? Someone is asking.
I am.
She's also on Facebook, and also Femme Fatale Fit Club is in both places, so look them both up on Instagram and Facebook. Again, for all your fitness tips, they are there for you. Thank you.